you're at that 80% and you're like, oh, I just want to be a perfectionist. It's Yuntaku time with Akko and Tamo.
What does Yuntaku mean? It's an Okinawan word from the islands of Okinawa, which means chit-chat. We want to invite you to our kitchen table and include you in our chit-chat to explore new ways of thinking, to welcome different perspectives,
and we want to share ideas on how to love yourself, love your partner, and shower your children with love.
This is episode 23.
And the topic of the day is how to motivate yourself. And before we get started, please take a quick moment to subscribe to our show. And let's get to our recent happenings.
So today, for the recent happenings, what do you want to talk about?
So every single day we've been
walking around the block.
Yeah, walking around the block with our daughter. And our daughter is so into those inflatable Christmas decoration. And there's a particular house that she really likes. And it has Mickey, Minnie, a Christmas tree, and Olaf. And, we go walking twice a day. So one a little bit before noonish, and then another time around 4. So a lot of times during that morning walk, the characters are usually asleep, but our sweet, kind neighbors always manages to just put it up when they see her. And it's just the sweetest thing. It just reminds me that just a small little gesture can go a long way.
And our daughter really loves it.
Yeah, she says hi, bye, and she just keeps going back to it. And it's great knowing that people care about what these little kids are going through. Or not only that, it's just they even mentioned like anything we can do to brighten anyone's day, and it was just really sweet.
Yeah, and I learned from our daughter in a sense that she can take what seems to be something small and really enjoy it, right? And and like you mentioned, the gesture, usually these characters are deflated, but when they see our daughter, they turn it on, inflate the characters up, and our daughter gets to see them and say hi, and it's really enjoyable. And I think these little things, seemingly little things, are what adds up to make really nice big changes for our lives.
Yeah, it's a very big impact. And then she herself can also pass that down to whoever she'd like when she gets older. If she sees a little kid and she does the same thing, and you just kind of pass on that generosity and that kindness.
Yeah, pay it forward. All right, so today we're going to be talking about how to motivate yourself.
Yeah, so I'm sure a lot of people have this problem. We have this problem.
Oh, yeah.
I procrastinate a lot, and a lot of times I feel unmotivated, and I'm like, oh my gosh, how do I get myself motivated? And we found that there are multiple things that you can do to motivate yourself, but one in particular that we're going to talk about today, and that is to do 10%. So what does that mean? So let's say you want to go to the gym. Nowadays, you really can't go to the gym, but let's say you want to work out like 6 in the morning and it's cold out. You don't even want to get out of bed, but doing the 10%, what does that mean? Just getting up, brushing your teeth, and just going outside. That's 10%. And you just have to tell yourself that I'm just going to do that. You don't even have to tell yourself that you're going to work out or go to the gym. You just tell your mind that all you're going to do is just wake up, brush your teeth, and just go outside. And usually what happens is now that you've already gotten up, you've already brushed your teeth, you got dressed up, and you go outside, something gets triggered in your mind that leads you to just go the other 90%. And you're just like, you know what? I'm already out here. Let's just work out. And that kind of works for us. Even editing these podcasts, even that, I just have to tell myself, all right, I'm going to just connect the cables to the hard drive and then open my computer, and that's it. And then usually that helps me jumpstart what I need to do.
Yeah, and this is kind of a negotiation tactic with your mind. So you tell it, okay, 10%, and after the 10%, it's up to you. If you want to stop what you're doing, that's fine too. You did the 10% and being very happy with that. Similarly, I actually use a thing called like a 80% rule, where when I start a task and I'm doing a task, I tend to be more of a perfectionist. So for that reason, becoming a procrastinator, right? Because I want the final product to be perfect. So in my mind, things get jumbled up and I end up procrastinating because, again, I'm looking for perfection. But obviously, that doesn't exist in this world. So what I do is do the 10%, and then when the project is going, I know that I can release the project, release meaning ship it out. Another way to say it is be okay with that project being complete for that time if I get to 80%. And then once you get to the 80%, you release the product or or maybe if you're writing a book, release the book at 80% and then edit it again, do the next 80%. And so each time you work on it, it becomes 80%, 80%, 80%. And so you can see a lot of improvement with each round. So that's what I do with the projects that I have. So it's interesting because you can use the 10% rule to start.
Yeah, exactly.
And then once you get going, you can use the 80% rule.
Exactly.
Where you take your project task or whatever you're doing to 80% and being happy with that.
Yeah.
And then come back to it.
Exactly.
And doing another 80%.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. And so, try these tactics. And again, like as Tomo mentioned, don't beat yourself up because, you want that 10%, let's say, or you're at that 80% and you're like, oh, I just want to be a perfectionist. Don't beat yourself up. I mean, give yourself some grace. It's okay. And just give yourself permission that it is okay if you don't complete it and if you're not perfect on it. So we are inviting you to give yourself that break because it is okay. It's okay. We're human. And if you don't do it, it's okay. At least you went that 10% or at least you even finished 80%.
Right.
And that in itself is already a success.
Definitely. And we're not looking for perfection, but we're looking to take a forward step each time. And that small forward step each time, each day will end up being perfection in the long run. So.
Exactly. So we just want to give you this little tidbit to help you succeed in life and hopefully help you in just completing any projects that you have in life.
And for the question of the day, what do you do to motivate yourself? We'd love to hear from you.
Please come and say hi on our new website by going to yuntakutime.com. All right.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.